Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and you're probably wondering why I'm wearing my Bigfoot bandana. Well, I told you guys when I got it that I'll be wearing it from now on when I film a video on Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Well, today is that day. I'm reading another chapter out of the They Saw Sasquatch book by Gary and Wendy Swanson. And the chapter I'm reading out of here today, the story takes place in the Siskiyou National Forest in July of 1996. So here we go. I have been a U.S. Forest Service ranger for 22 years, and I have spent a lot of my time in the Siskiyou National Forest on the border of California and Oregon. I have often repeated my story to co-workers and close friends, and a friend told me you wanted true experiences. So here you are. My BLM partner and I were working out of Happy Camp, California. The entire area of Happy Camp is rich in gold mining history, and tales of Sasquatch run rampant throughout these mountains. We who live and work in this region accept these stories as they are, as the storytellers are so adamant about their experiences. And there are so very many. All of these encounters are so similar that we who work for the government offices in the area remain neutral. Yeah, I can see that, because if you gave your stories to whoever you work for that's involved in government parks, they will probably think you're nuts, or they'll try to keep it under wraps because they don't want word getting out that park rangers have been seeing Bigfoots, and they'll be afraid of no campers showing up to these parks because that brings in the revenue. But anyway, let's continue. After all, if these creatures are real, then we have a duty to protect them too. That's true, because they're classified as animals, not humans. So they need protection just like any other wildlife in national parks. So if you shot a Sasquatch on national park property, then you'll get in a lot of trouble, just like if you shot a bear or a mountain lion in the park system. My BLM partner was charged with cruising the mountainous area between Happy Camp and the Oregon border. I was assigned to help. Our objective was to conduct a feasibility study for timber thinning and fire danger. We drove the forestry road along the border, which runs just south of Bowlen Lake, and camped 2 days in the hills. The first night we heard what sounded like footsteps in the forest downhill from our tent, but choked it up to deer. After settling exhausted into the tent on day 2, it happened. We had camped close to a creek that flowed south into a small unnamed slope. Falling asleep, almost immediately my partner and I were awakened just after midnight by footsteps close to the tent. First, there was the sound of snapping of twigs, and then something hit the tent hard enough to cause our fluorescent battery light to fall from the tent pole and crash on the ground. We both bolted out of the tent with flashlights in hand. We ran around each side of the tent, scanning the dense forest all around and down the steep slope behind the tent. We both heard something crashing and thumping ahead of us, and finally the going became too impassable. We made our way back up to the tent and found a large piece of pine tree limb about 4 inches across that had hit our tent hard enough to tear the fabric where the screen window was attached. The limb was over 5 feet long and looked like it was a large hiking stick. There were no trees within 30 feet and with no wind, so we knew it had been thrown. We were wide awake yet when about 20 minutes later we heard a scream. It was loud and sounded human. The scream came again several minutes later, and it was followed by a kind of growling and grunting, and then several more loud, long-lasted screams came again over the next hour and a half. Whatever it was seemed like an out-of-control human just raging in anger. Oh yeah, I heard a lot of Bigfoot screamings and growling noises that were caught on audio recorders, and boy, every time I hear the loud, raging ones, that it just makes my blood chill to the bone. Like you hear that, you be like making sure you got a weapon on hand because you never know if them things decide to run up and attack you. When dawn came, we lit out as fast as we could, survey over. Our friends have all heard about our experience, and strangely, no one laughed or even questioned our nightmare. Because these tales are heard so often, everyone just nods in understanding due to our government rules. I must remain anonymous, so just call me Red. My friends will know who wrote this. It's my true story, every word. We are pleased to have two submissions from Doc Bashford. Doc moved to Oregon from Ohio and is well respected in the Bigfoot hunters community. Many of us remember when Doc owned the Bigfoot Cavern in Kirby, Oregon. He had a 9-foot tall carved wood Sasquatch just inside the door. This famous landmark dates back to the early days of Oregon's logging and mining, and the building is entirely built of stone. Oh man, talk about a big looking rustic cabin experience. But seeing a 9-foot tall wood carved Bigfoot statue, I would love to see that, but it would make me feel like a little person standing right next to it. The floor still bears holes by the loggers' hobnail boots as they stopped in after work. Doc and his partner featured great food and a full bar with live music. A whole wall was filled with plaster cast of Bigfoot prints and newspaper articles of Doc's exploits and memorabilia. Doc is traveling now, but we look forward to more input from him in the future. Thanks, Doc. Here's a picture of this case with this guy named Doc's memorabilia. But I forgot to show you these two pictures right here as well. There's a picture of a tree with a wooden sign for where the Happy Camp border is at, next to California. And what looks like a little grassy hill with trees in that area. Probably where they heard that Bigfoot noise while they were camping. But that's so also that they throw in another famous Bigfoot hunter in the story, even though he did not experience it. It was just park rangers talking about it. All right, there goes another chapter out of the They Saw Sasquatch book. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more Bigfoot related content in the future. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Quarter channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I say that's a wrap, and have a nice day, y'all.